This is the plaintiff, Marie Phileas. She says she agreed to rent the defendant's apartment under several repair conditions which weren't met. This whole thing's been a nightmare from the get-go. The living conditions were nowhere near what they were promised to be. And she wants the $5,000 she's owed returned. This is the defendant, Marie Stewart. She says it's unbelievable that a tenant can sue her landlord for rent money she never paid. That's right. This woman, the plaintiff, has some nerve because she's suing her for back rent that she never even gave to her. She didn't even know why the plaintiff stopped paying her in the first place. Bottom line, she will be in the clear today, for sure. She's accused of bad landlording.
Litigant limits for you.
Thank you. Marie Phileas?
Phileas.
Phileas.
Yes.
You are suing Marie Stewart for $5,000 in rent that you say you've overpaid and in punitive damages for having overpaid it. Tell me what's going on.
2009, I entered into an agreement with Ms. Stewart. I'm in a Work Advantage program which expired a month ago. And due to the course when I started the lease.
What's the Work Advantage program?
Work Advantage is a 2-year program. I was currently in a shelter for 6 months. And what they do is they give you a program that is not like Section 8. It's just a 2-year program. You keep a job, you pay your rent, you stay in this program.
But what does the program do? I still don't understand.
It's basically, it's a financial assistance program.
Okay, so they pay your rent?
It's Department of Homeless Services.
Okay,
yes.
and they pay your rent?
They pay your rent.
Okay.
So it's not like Section 8 where it's a lifetime a financial assistance. It was just a 2-year program.
Well, Section 8 is not a lifetime financial assistance either. It's as long as you own it. Some people take it as a lifetime financial assistance,
true.
But that's not what it is.
True.
But anyway, go ahead.
But we entered into an agreement for a year. And during the course of the year...
You and the defendant?
Yes.
Okay.
When the program feels as though you have stayed the year between the landlord and the tenant and the program, the landlord will agree to add on another year, which they did, which promoted me to a 2-year lease. Now, Ms. Stewart received $530 from me on top of the $1,070 that...
Okay, well, what had you guys agreed on?
Well, the apartment was up to code for Department of Homeless Service, but there was a lot of things in the apartment that needed fixing. Doors, locks, front entrance of the house.
How could it be up to
windows,
code then?
Because what they look for basically is for the carbon monoxide, make sure that the windows are guarded correctly, to make sure there's running hot water, just those things.
What was your agreed rent?
The agreed rent was $1,070, as my lease said.
Okay, and $1,070 is what the program was paying her?
Yes.
Okay, well then why were you, according to you, for 9 months, you paid an additional monthly $530?
Because I thought she was going to do what she said she was going to do.
No. Why are you paying an additional $530 in rent?
Because this is all I can find. Like I said, I was coming out of a shelter.
No.
And
are you paying an additional $530 in rent
Yes.
because the rent was the 10 plus the $530
no, it
and you
wasn't.
were paying part
this
and the
was
program
basically,
was paying
no,
part?
I was not even supposed to pay $530.
But then why would you?
Because
why does anybody pay $530 when they have a program paying the rent?
this is the thing. This is a 3-bedroom apartment, okay? And I could not find a 1-bedroom apartment that was substandard. Where I came from, there was a lot of problems, like I explained.
Ms. Phileas,
yes.
me pica aquí, me rasca aquí. It itches me here, and you're scratching me here. Yes. I asked a very specific question. Why on God's green acres would you pay every first of the month an additional $530 if your agreement with her wasn't, in fact, that the rent for a 3-bedroom house or apartment?
Apartment.
A 3-bedroom apartment was going to be $1,500, but the program would only pay the 10, and so you were paying the rest.
This is the thing. I was on a time limit to move. I could not find anything.
How much was the rent?
$1,550, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's why she was paying the other $530.
Yes, Your
That's the
Honor.
only thing that makes sense.
Exactly.
No.
Why would you pay $530 every month unless that was part of your rent?
Thank you. That was it.
Let me explain
What?
something.
Tell me why. Give me another reason other than that you were supposed to and had agreed to.
Okay, I could not find an apartment for
No. Don't keep telling me about what you can find and how hard your life was. Listen to my question and answer only my question.
Okay.
Because I don't want to think you're a scam artist.
Okay.
What motivated you to write $530 to your landlord extra every first of the month for 9 months.
That was the rent.
That's right. And I prefer that you be honest about that from the beginning. Now, the problem with that is manyfold, okay? One problem with that is that the work program doesn't allow that, right?
That's right.
And the reason they don't allow that is because in order to qualify for the work program, they want to know that you're really in need. And if you have $530 to pay because you want a nicer apartment, then they don't want to help you. They want to help the person who's in dire need, right? That's their theory.
Not necessarily, but what you're saying,
What,
yeah.
Tell me if you're. Does a work program allow you to be paid to have a $1,500 apartment?
Unofficially, I'll be honest with you, no. Okay, this is not something that I wanted to do. This is not something I'm trying to scam out. Okay, I felt
What
as
did
though.
they say? How did you? When did you decide to stop paying it?
I stopped paying because she was not fixing anything. She wasn't. It wasn't worth it. And when I notified Work Advantage, they told me you better stop paying. And this is when I notified Ms. Stewart and saying, you know what, my program is telling me they're going to take my program away. I'm paying you this money.
Why
You're
would
not
they take your
making repairs.
program away?
Because this is the point. Both of us sign a lease, and there's a rider to the lease. Now, if she's not keeping part of her deal, meaning maintaining the apartment,
We will deal with the
Okay.
maintaining the apartment in a second. What I'm asking you is why did the work program say they were going to pull your rent?
They will pull my rent because you can't continue paying. This is basically
No,
what.
what you couldn't do was find a $1,500 apartment. That was the bad. It's not the continue paying. The continue paying is something you had agreed to do.
I wish you could understand where I was thinking.
Perfectly.
I have 2 children with special needs. If you understood where I was thinking.
And that's fine. What I don't understand is this. You go to work, according to you. I start to hear from different contacts in my work group, I really shouldn't be paying the defendant all this extra money. I started to get to advice to hold off on paying my additional $530 a month because no repairs were being made and the living conditions were not what they were promised to be. So you start to hear that you should breach your agreement to pay an extra $530 for 2 reasons. 1, because the repairs aren't what you thought they would be, and 2, because you're going to lose your subsidy if you. But see, you should lose your subsidy for making the agreement, not for abiding by the agreement.
Yeah, and that
makes no sense. But now you tell me what ended up happening when how many 530s did she pay, according to you?
For 10 months.
10 months. Okay, she says it was 9. But
What happened, Your Honor, I thought she was like Section 8, because Section 8, the government pay part, and Section 8 have to pay part. She and the broker scammed me.
The tenant pays part and Section 8 pays part.
Right.
Okay.
So I thought the program that she had was the same program. She and the broker put it together and scammed me. So she came in, everything, because the place passed inspection. Today, the 31st of December, she moved in the 1st. So it has to be past inspection before she could move in.
Of course.
So everything was up to date. But it's just a trick, Your Honor. They walk around, pay you for a couple months, and stop. That's
yeah,
what
but she paid you for. I don't think it was a trick. I don't think that the realtor was in on it. She paid you for 10 months.
Right.
When it's a trick, you don't get the first month. Okay, that's a trick. Okay.
Right.
No one's going to pay you $5 grand as part of the big to hide their trickiness.
Exactly.
Okay. What happened is she started to talk to people who told her, "Girl, why are you paying that?" You know, that's what happened. All right. She started to get advice from her friends that she shouldn't be paying, so she decided to withhold it.
To stop paying, right.
But and it may have been more out of fear that she was going to lose the rent subsidy than out of a desire to put you out. But either way, she has acknowledged that, in fact, that was part of the rent that she was supposed to be paying.
That was part of the
now, you go to housing court because she's no longer paying her part. And what happens?
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, is it wrong for a tenant on Section 8 to upgrade by paying extra money?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because they're abusing the system.
Why is that an abuse?
Well, they're already getting free money and a free place to live when everybody else has to pay. They're trying to get better living by having money that they allegedly don't have.
Well said. Do you agree with him?
Agreed.
Do you agree with him?
Most definitely, yes.
It was pretty compelling. Well done. Going inside the courtroom.
She want to stay, and the judge tell her, no, as soon as your lease expires, you got to go. So she was supposed to leave the 31st of January. She didn't, so I have to go to court now for the final judgment.
Oh, so why didn't you leave on January 31st if that's what the housing
Because
court
the
told you
housing
to do?
court told me once she takes me back, we can mitigate that in housing court because we didn't know we were going to be here. So when I was suing her in small claims court, they were going to take that money for that 1 month so I can move and find a proper apartment. But we
I'm not
didn't
understanding.
Exactly.
We were
We were
told to be
mitigate-
out by the 31st.
We were supposed to be out by the 31st, but as I spoke, when the judge dismissed it, he asked me if I have any questions. He told told me, if I am not out by the 31st, speak to someone in the legal department in the housing court, which I did. They told me that I don't necessarily have to go out. She's going to refile the papers. We can mitigate it because I said that I overpaid her or gave.
If that turns out to be true, but I find that that is not true.
Right.
Okay.
I find that you agreed to pay that money,
but there's
and if that's in violation of some work program that you've had the benefit of, that's between you. Stop talking and listen. That's between you and your work program.
Okay.
That is not between you and your landlord. You have acknowledged that there was in fact an agreement that you were going to pay $530. You paid it. And you paid it a bunch, but you're not content with just stiffing her on the agreement. You also want her to now pay you back all of that amount of money that you paid. And that's how you brought this lawsuit.
Right.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
You guys should bring it in.
Because the same way... Look,
Listen. I'm very sorry that your child is here and that I have to say this stuff, but you chose to bring your child here. I think you're playing the system, all right? And I am not. You don't have a counterclaim against her because you're now trying to get possession in eviction court.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I assume that that's going to happen forthwith.
Yes.
And instead of putting your family through pushing the envelope as long as you can, maybe you should have been making plans so that the move is a little more stable than it looks like it's going to be.
She don't want to leave, Your Honor. She don't want to leave.
Well, she's going to leave. It's just a question of whether she can continue to live there. Are they still? They're not paying.
They pay me, yes, for this month.
Okay, and she's saying though that the program's over with.
The program is over, but once you're there and you enter into another month, the program has to pay you.
Okay, so at least you're clearly going to be out the additional 530s every month until she's evicted.
But may I ask you something, Your Honor?
So right.
when
Ms. Filius, your lawsuit is you asking to have me order her to return money you have acknowledged you agreed to pay her, and the answer is no.
But you have not even seen the writer.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
This is your chance to step out here and tell us what you think of the outcome of this case and how you looked in there.
Well, I honestly feel as though she didn't look at the writer. And, you know, Miss Marsha Stewart won this case. That's good, and I'm proud of her. That's all I can say.
There's a little bit of a sort of non-kosher situation going on.
The thing is, I didn't play the system, okay? I'm trying to move my children out into a neighborhood that they would appreciate. I have a special needs autistic child, and I just wanted him to have a life. That's it. And if she wants to portray me as a person that fraud the system, working with patients, that's fine. It's fine. You know, I'm good with that.
Okay. All right, around the corner there, documents are waiting for you guys as you head out of here. So you step on over here next to me, and you've been smiling this whole time.
Yeah, because I'm glad it's done it over with. She's a thief. And I hope other landlords look at her and don't rent her nowhere. She's a thief. I'm glad it's over and done with.
And what knowledge did you have about this whole situation that she was involved in?
I didn't know nothing about it. She cooked it up with the broker. That's what happened. And now she's trying to pull a scam. So I'm glad it's done and over with.
Okay, let's go to Harvey then.
I got to tell you, if you know somebody who is abusing subsidized housing, if I were you, I would blow the whistle on them, call the housing authority. It is unfair to everyone. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.